Hey, this is Blake Sloan. I've been selling real estate over 14 years, and our team of highly trained professionals, along with our unmatched marketing, has sold thousands of homes here in the Myrtle Beach area, and this is how we do it.
The average people, what do? They live in a place of disbelief, or basically they live in a place of that uncertainty. I'll never forget, even this morning we were in the gym and they did this warm-up thing, and we had all stand in this squat thing. We had 3 people in a cone, and it was me and Kaylee and this dude, and he had to do head, knees, shoulders over and over, and then he would say cone, and whoever has to grab the cone, get the cone. The other ones had to do 8 burpees who didn't do it, right? I'm like, all right, I was like, this dude's pretty in shape, and you know what he said? He looked, he goes, I'm not too good at this type of thing. I was like, you're fucked, dude. Game over, all right? And so guess what? I got the cone every single time. And just a mindset, because I'm like, I'm going to fucking get this cone, right? It's a mental thing. I got the cone every single time. And Kay looked at me. She goes, won't you let him win? I'm like, I ain't letting him win. Shit. This is burpees, right? I'm not, this is life. But the reality is, that's a mindset thing where he already lost that battle before he even got there. Yeah. Strictly in what?
Words and what he projected.
His words and belief, dude. I was kind of nervous at first until he said that. I'm like, oh, this is game over. This dude's done, right? And maybe I was like, well, maybe there's a chance he's not. But I mean, it was like, and even it's like, oh, after the first one, he hadn't even moved yet, already snatched it up, and he was like, oh man. And so I was like, his beliefs, right? His empowering inside is holding him from even having a chance at getting it.
Plus the burpees slowed him down.
Yeah, after what I did do burpees one time because I couldn't hear they had music in the guy, and I thought he said cone. He said something, so I grabbed it. So I put it back down and did the burpees anyway. And those two went at it. I don't know. I think he may be Caleb. I'm not sure who got it. But the reality is, every single time it was true, snatch every time. But part of that is just what? It's the inner game. And so some of us need to make sure that we can fix and work on the inner game every single day. And this is going to be a whole training thing that's separate. This is very hard to teach on because it's not tangible. But part of it is what? There's got to be things you listen to daily to empower you, right? But more importantly, how do I change these things here? The cool part about everyone in here has the opportunity. You're here for a reason. You're here because we saw something in you, right, that we felt you could be successful in that. And so what do you think is going to help change it? Or what helps you believe you have that belief?
Yeah, big thing I guess I did. Like I look back on Facebook, thank you, Press, and since we back 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and seeing the difference for me here and who I've been and who I've become and how I feel versus other years and stuff in the past is literally just like you have to just have the willingness. I mean, I think to change. Whatever you're writing.
No, this is separate. Keep going.
Yeah, I love that, doing the work, but and then building on that, and just not allowing it to fucking defeat you.
When it can, right?
Says, yeah.
There are certain things that happen to us, and it does.
Much shit I could say.
And so that's pretty cool. I didn't really realize you did that, but that's the one thing that
certain things, the divorce and the down, and being a stay-at-home mom and not having any money, nothing. And then being told we're getting a divorce, and I'm like, I have zero. You know what I mean? What do I do? And then to see this is the most money I've ever made. And the
certainty and the power. And the most thing I'm proud of is the co-parenting stuff, right?
Well, yeah,
that's a super powerful part.
Huge, yeah.
That's going to create a ripple effect, right?
So the other thing, to know today you are one decision away of changing your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard. I've been there where you have the spouse that treats you like shit at home. How can you possibly be doing bad things and awesome shit when you have that at home?
Right, and so part of you got to make a decision to fix it, right?
Just fix it. Yeah, Spilt Milk is a really good book, or just to listen to.
So I want to get back to this part here of what we talked about. Now, I'm noticing, I'm going to use Baron as an example of this, is what makes the change of this? Baron came in, Baron's super quiet, right? Remember, I think Renzi said before, he's looking down on the floor all the time, but super quiet, introverted, but what? Super driven, right? You were made a decision that you're going to do what? That you're do the work. Right? But here's the thing. This is not how I'm over for me just in studying this past 2 days overall. Is doing the work massively on developing the skill set. The one moment, I'll tell you what I saw a change in Baron, I got chills right now just thinking of it, is when he could recite to me the straight line. That is when you what? You saw a change in you when you felt that you what? What's the word you think that you felt there? You finally felt that you what? I felt that was the first time that Baron finally felt that he deserved it. Yeah. right? That you deserve to have the clients that will listen to you. That you deserve to have the clients who would actually work with you, because I was this young, right, person who was coming in. I was super hard to make sure we got those things right, specifically the presentation. And I'll never forget, we were in a meeting sitting on this side, and he said and recited the whole part about, and I was like, oh shit, we got something. And he said it with certainty, and there was from that point an inner belief that was created by doing what? Doing the work massively on the skill set. And so what I'm getting at today, the aha for anyone in here, is if you just double down and work your ass off on the skill sets, both the bar presentation, the straight line, and understanding frames, it's game over. Because the disconnect for everyone is you haven't done enough work on the skill set to believe you actually fucking deserve it yet. Which is why you're where you're at on the board. And that's why I was going to pull the board out here, because if you've done it, guess what? I feel I've done things that no one else deserves. And so that gives you that kick and the extra push. Same thing with Ryan. Ryan's shift was what? When you did what for the first time? You did Stuman or you did the straight line? Straight line first, right? And there's the same time that you started quoting the straight line in the meeting, and you were the only two that were quoting at that time. I think Alex had been through it then. But the reality was, guess what? That's when the shift in you came, because now you're like, holy shit, I got a tool. And what did you feel after you learned that?
A lot more certain about who I am.
You feel like you might be a little more special than the average person
100%.
who didn't do the work. And so if you want to look for a key that's going to unlock that for you guys, this is it. This is an aha moment for a lot of people, like, holy shit, if I just double down and will massively do the skill set. And here's the deal. Some of y'all are doing pretty good. But what's limiting you, right, is what your belief of what you should actually be having right now. And so that comes in the form of when you show up, how you show up, right, the certainty, and more specifically, the long-term sustainability of the ups and downs.
I mean, a lot of this is as simple as putting in the hours. A lot of people just don't put in the hours, regardless whether it's skill set, mindset, whatever you're doing, just the hours as a whole, like,
right.
Not usually there.
And here's the thing, I totally get that, and that's one thing that I was going to say, but part of that is if I can master this heavily, I'm shortening the curve time down. What I find for most people is they can't make the longer gap of just, if you're just coming grinding every day and not mastering your skill set, it's going to suck for a long time. Because, unfortunately, you still suck. Yeah. Even though you don't feel like you still suck because it shows up in one form, results. And so the difference there is understanding, like, if I master this, the faster it is, it's going to up the self-worth as much as possible, which brings you a feeling that you deserve it. And so my goal here is to get you to a point here down the line. It doesn't matter what the hell happened to you in the past. That's just where everybody starts out. Some people start at a different place, right? But unfortunately, most people aren't able to get past their past. But you can if you dig in and really go all in on mastering the skill sets and understanding that we have something special here with a presentation, period, right? Barrett, you were a different place before here. What type of presentations y'all have?
0.
What type of lead systems?
They actually had Boomtown, but like...
No leads in there, right? We talked about it. You were giving some shit to call or something that wasn't.
Yeah, they gave me a disc, 8 discs from the 1980s.
Yeah, it was like, that's what training, that's what I meant. Whatever that was, right?
I'm fucking out of here.
And so the reality is that's the understanding part, right, of what that is from those aspects. And so the difference is, like, we have the tools that will shorten your career, your curve to have actual career by literally 50%, 100% just to get the basics, right? The average agent selling 4 houses a year, that's not even acceptable per quarter hardly here.